it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 to the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR iRacing.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Good evening, iRacers, and welcome to Season 2, Week 2 of the 2013 iRacing Grand Prix Series. My name is Lee Thompson, and we've got a full commentary booth today. So joining me is, first of all, Dean Prescott. Evening, Dean.
Good evening, Lee.
How did your previous Grand Am race go, Dean?
It wasn't too bad. Fingers crossed it keeps the way that I'm going, but
good.
I'm sure we'll find out soon.
And providing expert analysis as well this week is going to be Alex Simpson again. Good evening, Alex.
Hi, yeah, I'm not sure about the expert advice, but some advice anyway.
Well, being that you managed to qualify technically 12th for the World Championship race yesterday, I think I'm going to have to stick with my initial assessment. Right, we've got less than 1 minute to go of warm-up, guys, before we grid up for, as I said, Week 2 at Silverstone, home of British Motorsport. Just about time to run you through the grid. First of all, on pole position, we've got Marty Patella with a 1 minute 20.852. So he's going to be a World Championship Series driver. He didn't have the overall pole for week, though. That went to Juha Abe, who isn't on the grid, with a 20.778, so just under a tenth quicker. Second position, pro driver, Ricardo Castroledo. In third, we have our first A-class driver, Mikko Miralatu. In fourth, we have Jan Zalowski. In fifth, we have Raisugu Sawada. In sixth, we have Ariel Bernardi. In seventh, we have Omar Soto. In eighth, we have Jorge Montanez. Ninth, we have Michael Goman. 10th is Jukka Savalainen. 11th is Samuel Della Fuerte. 12th is Jonas Nikarinen. 13th, Matthias Ventari. 14th, Rafa Bodai. 15th, Lassie Brun Hansen. 16th, Roizuku Iwasaki. 17th, G. Mantli. 18th, we have Samuli Como. 19th, Kip Dent. 20th, Joni Hagner. 21st, Justin Lindsay. 22nd, Paul A. Nelson. And rounding up the very back of the grid without having put in a qualifying time is another World Championship driver of Marcus Caton. We need to find some easier names to put on this this iRacing Grand Prix series.
Yeah, those guys. There's nice to see actually a good contingent of different nationalities taking part. So it's not easy, especially over sort of Australia way. There, you know, the new Club Asia as well. It's awkward time zone for them, but you know, they're making the effort to get up and stuff like that. So it's good to see.
Right, so everybody's gridding up, waiting for the last few cars to start. As you may remember from here last season, the majority of the grid is on this bend coming out of Luffield, so it's a tough start for them, having to get on the power with a bit of the corner to negotiate as well. Right, so last couple of seconds now, counting down. Right, so I'm hearing the revs building, so any moment we're going to be going green. Marty Patella on pole, Castellodo alongside, and they're away. Looks like a nice clean getaway from the first few rows. Fairly tidy in the background as well, bit of movement. Looks like Marty Patella's just about going to hang on to this with Castellodo around the outside, but Marty Patella gives him lots and lots of space. Castellodo's still pretty much alongside now as they come down towards Maggots and Beckett's. Who's going to get the turn in? And it's just about Marty Patella there, but all contact behind between Soto and Miraletto there, I think, just about hang together as they come through.
Yeah, Patella got a little bit bogged down at the start, so this way he had to sort of really hold on to the inside line. Ricciardo got a great start.
And almost Soto there, all over the back of Miraletto as they come towards Stowe, not in a position yet to make a move, but further back we've got cars moving alongside, so we've got Eunice Nukarin and up the inside of Bernardi there, and he makes the position as they head into club, but cars all over the place. They're really clamouring all together there, side by side coming from club. Jonny Hagner getting a little bit squirrely as they come out of club there. Really tough corner to get on the power.
I'm actually really surprised that they're all still too wide at this point.
I can't believe it. And they're all hanging in together as well. So up front, Marty Patella and Castellodo are making a big gap already to Miraletto behind. Jan Zalowski then in 4th, Omar Soto in 5th, Sawada, then Fuerte, and then Eunice Nukarinen.
Just watching some action further back was Kumo. Looks like he was making a move around the inside of Priory on one of the Inex Racing cars there, but didn't pan off, and he's finding himself falling back a couple of spots.
Yeah, he's looking to P15 as Sam. Started way down in 18th, so he's gained a few positions from the start.
He had a good race earlier on this week, so I think we might see him coming through the pack. It's not exactly easy to overtake here, though, when the car in front's also got slipstream, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And obviously we've got Marcus Caton as well coming from the back, World Championship Series driver.
Yeah, and I think Sawada's just lost a place coming through Maggots Beckett. He's about to lose another one now to Eunice Nukarin as well, but just about manages to hang on. I think there's a little bit of glitching there actually. Has he disappeared in fact? Yeah, and in fact we've just lost Sawada, so I think he's had a connection problem, or has he just flashed back now?
Reappeared.
Wow, he was gone for a whole 2 or 3 corners. Oh, we've got massive lag issues. So we've got Jonny Hagner now coming up alongside, and I think that was Bernardi who got caught up, probably got damage from ending up the inside of his car there. Okay, so back up front, Marty Patella all squirrely coming out of left field as he crosses the start-finish line. Riccardo Castellodo still just a second or so back. Miraletto not that much further. Jan Zalowski in a good strong 4th position with Omar Soto behind in 5th. Della Fuerte in 6th. And then we have Nukarinen in 7th. Jonny Hagner in 8th. Sawada under lots and lots of pressure. We've got contact between Michael Goman and Savalainen, I think it was. They come through Thompson. Another car off in the background as well. And again, I think that was caused by Sawada just backing into everybody a little bit. And Michael Goman's struggling. I think he's got damage. Oh, contact again between Jonny Hagner and Michael Goman. They're 3 abreast now as they come down Hanger Straight in towards Stowe. Who's going to come out through here? Who's going to bail? Are they all going to stick with it? Or just hang on and Jonny Hagner backs out of it, or Savalainen. And we'll lose a car on the outside as well. But more contact. We've got a fair bit of carnage now.
Yeah, Bernardi running wide there into Stowe corner, tried to hang it around the outside. Yeah, and I think that's Kuma around the outside.
Yeah, Sam Kuma now got the inside for Abbey. He's got that position made already. So yeah, I think Michael Goman behind's got a little bit damaged. He's going to be struggling now to maintain his position. Yeah,
just to jump back to the leader for a second, Patella, the 4A Jura Racing team. He'll be delighted with the start he's got. It's leaping away. He had a bit of a nightmare in the World Championship Series yesterday and got himself a whole load of wing damage early on. So seems to be the story of his season, so he's enjoying himself out there today. And obviously pro driver Ricardo Castrolido also qualified for the Drivers' World Championship. I've done it again. But unfortunately he was not allowed on the grid like a few of the other pro drivers. Only Antoine Hicklin that made it on there, so big shout out to him. Obviously one of my teammates, so
yeah, and a great job getting that top 10 position to finish as well. So Yunus Nukarinen all over the back at the minute of Samuel De La Fuente as they head in towards Club at the minute. He was very, very close a moment ago on the entry to Maggots Beckett, but wasn't quite able to hold that position. But he's got a good exit now coming out of Club. Very different lines between the two of them. Yunus Nukarinen is looking to shape up now to come in towards Abbey. Is he going to look for a move up the inside? He does, and just shows his nose and thinks better of it for now. So Nukarinen really looking to move forward. He had a strong week last week at Laguna Seca, our strength and field race that we broadcast. He came in second. Yeah,
Nukarinen 10-4 engineering.
Oh, a little bit wide though.
Those guys getting in there and putting a lot of pressure under the GT Ross Spanish racing team there.
We've still got this battle going on from 9th all the way down to 13th. Rounding out at Michael Gilman. They've been battling all race so far, still going too wide in some places.
Yeah, and Swada seems to be the bottleneck again.
It looks like Kumo's making a move as well. He does into Cop's corner, not always easy.
And then Michael Gomez going to be coming up past as well, as Sawada went a little bit wide coming out of Cop's.
He actually looks like he's got a little bit of rear wing damage. This is why all the guys are streaming past him, so not sure where that happened. But yeah, certainly some rear wing damage. And I think Ariel Eduardo Benaldi is going to get past him quite quickly as well here.
Jan Zalowski now coming under more and more pressure from Omar Soto. That's between 3rd and 4th position. In fact then, 3rd and 4th position, that means we have lost Mikko Merilotus. We've missed that off camera. He was in 3rd position and he's now showing a lap down in 21st, so perhaps out of the race.
Yeah, Jan, he needs a good race. He was picked up some damage in the previous race earlier on today. I think he was running like 3rd or 4th at the time and just lost it coming out of Luffield with about 4 laps to go. And so yeah, pressure's on him. He needs the points here. He found that he got that brake pedal glitch where he was running with about 1% brake on at all times. So he was wondering why he was 3 or 4 tenths a lap slower. Couldn't really compete. Found that little glitch, sorted it out, and then improved his qualifying time.
And again, coming in towards Maggots Beckett's Yunus Nukarinen all over the back of Samuel there. Samuel cuts that first curve massively, slightly different lines from the two of them. Let's see, I was about to say how got a run out of the complex Nukarinen would get, but he ran very wide coming through Beckett's.
Yeah, Nukarinen looks like he's got some connection issues there as well. Flash and quite a got.
Yeah, it's going to make it. Yeah, it's going to make it pretty uncomfortable for Jonny Hugner behind, deciding what position he needs to put himself in.
Give a shout out to some of the team names as well that are out there as well. So Jonny Hugner racing for Glacier. Nice to see those guys got a couple of cars on the grid and competing this season.
And it looks like Jan Zalowski's got a little bit of breathing space now to Omar Soto behind. He's the pressure's off for a moment, so whether that was a great lap by Jan or a bit of an error from Soto, I think perhaps the second one. We've got a little bit of a group forming, almost 5 cars now together between 3rd and 7th position.
We haven't seen is Javier this week, Soto that is. He's qualified 3rd, I think it was 3rd, maybe 4th. Now Marty's put his time in there, so quite expected to see him up there, but I haven't seen him turn up for a race this week. Another member of the GT Ross team.
So, strategy. Everybody's going to be doing a one-stop this week. What sort of lap do you think, Alex, should these guys be coming in for a 44-lap race?
It's a tough one to say because, again, tyre deg isn't particularly to worry about. So it really is about how quick you can go with a reasonable amount of fuel in. So I would think we would probably be seeing people coming in from maybe 27 to 31 maximum. I mean, that is quite heavy to start off with. I would think 27 to 30 is about the ideal pit time.
Cool. So 20 laps then to go until we can start thinking about those first of the stops, perhaps, as Marty Patella comes to start lap number 8.
Just a little bit further back in the field, we've got Marcus Caton all over the back of Rafa in P15-16. It's allowing Lars to catch up, actually, another one of the AI UK drivers.
Yeah, Lars not been able to do quite as much practice as he would have wanted to this week. I know the man's very, very busy. He's got a wedding coming up. I wish him all the best for that.
Yeah, and Sam Kumo looking to make moves still as well. He's all over the back of Kip Dent at the minute as they come through Beckett's, looking to get a good exit onto Hanger Straight, see if he can do something to Stowe. I think he's dropped a little way back, but he looks like somebody on the move at the minute.
Yeah, he's suffering the problem we said about earlier, where guys have got slipstream ahead of him, so all he's really doing down the straight is keeping up rather than being able to be aggressive. Can be a little bit of a problem with Silverstone, with some of the dirty air that you get through the faster sections, and you want the guys to spread apart a bit so you can attack, but you tend to find that they sort of bunch together. As we've seen here, we've got sort of 2 little groups of 4.
Yeah, and of course we saw some great racing here last season where that bunching really came into effect in the last few laps especially, so if we can get a cracking race like that again this season, I think we'll be very happy. So Marty Patella already into Maggots Beckett's as Castroledo exits Copse. Jan Zalowski, Omar Soto then come through Copse as well, with Samuel and Eunice Nickerinen close behind, Joni Hagner, and then we have Yuko Sovalainen just entering Copse now, with then Matthias Venturi running a little bit wide out the exit, and rounding up the top 10 is Ariel Eduardo Bernardi.
It was all about Castroledo last week at Laguna Seca, but he's getting a masterclass of his own. And Patella today.
There's plenty of new names to this. Some that I've not seen, but I was away unfortunately last week. But it's looking good. We've got 23 on this grid and 22 in the second split. As we can see, Marcus Caton going 3 wide.
Yeah, I've been a little bit disappointed with the participation this week. I mean, not a single race on Friday went official apart from the Australian-New Zealand strength of field at sort of lunchtime GMT. Otherwise, no other races went official that day. We've so far had less participants here at Silverstone than we had at Laguna Seca. And yeah, it's the first race of the season, but everybody, of course, is complaining so much about Laguna, and everybody wants to be at a real Grand Prix circuit like this, and yet we've had less participation. So what maybe are we going to expect iRacing to do with the schedule next season if they're seeing the participation swinging in that sort of way?
Yeah, I know a lot of the drivers have been complaining about higher physics and things like that, specifically really with the exit of the club corner. And yes, it does, you know, it is a very, very tricky corner, but you definitely can set the car up around there to make it more manageable. I know very late on in the week we found some improvements that made quite a difference. As Marcus having a look going into Beckett's.
It's gone in past. Marcus is looking very racy actually.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do now. Car in front's got damage rear wing, so he should be easy pickings down this straight, and indeed he goes straight past.
And up at the front, 3rd and 4th position, Jan Zalowski's under a lot of pressure again now from Omar Soto. So on the last lap, Soto was 7/10 quicker than Jan, and he's going to be under a lot of pressure now as they come in towards the next lap in the first sector especially. And same behind as well, Samuel's still under a lot of pressure from Eunice Nickerinen. He's not managed to make that move, but he's not been, you know, further back than a second really for the last 6 or 7 laps.
Eunice was only in the TeamSpeak earlier on, just sort of saying that he hasn't got a clean run in as of yet, so it's important for him to get a strong finish here, get some points
He's got a great run coming out of Cops. Is he going to look for a move even before they get into Maggots? Not quite. Oh, but slightly different entry speeds coming in now. I thought Nicarina was going to run into the back of Samuel, but he just needs to stick with him now. Got the apex on that last little section, but as normal, just drop back a little bit as they enter onto Hanger Straight.
Just the difference there, dirty air just sort of saving Samuel there.
Yeah, you could see how Eunice was having to fight the car coming through the middle of Maggots as he was correcting all the old time, as you said, to try and compensate for that lack of downforce.
Obviously, Abby with the tricky club corner before her, actually, Abby is another potential overtaking position as well, so I think Eunice's car seems to be slightly quicker coming out of that as well, so maybe that might be a place for him to have a look a bit later on. Good little battle though between these guys. I'm pretty sure Samuel didn't race last week as well, so he's another driver that's going to need to have a good finish here, get the championship points. I wonder how much that plays on the back of their minds. I know for myself, after I've had a couple of shockers on Saturday, it was very prominent, and I wouldn't do anything silly.
And Soto's got a good run coming out of Chapel. It's going to be closing on Jan as they head towards Stowe. Not close enough, just shows his nose to try and take Jan's attention. See if he can get a good run now coming out of Stowe. A little bit wide on the exit, but he's thinking about the move in towards Club, but just going to have to stay sensible for now. Clatters over the curb as he enters. Again, pretty decent run coming out of Club as well there, so he's hanging on, trying to get as close as he can for Abbey, but again, not in a position yet. So Marty Patella at the minute is lapping in the mid-22s. All the cars behind are in the 23 3s, 23 4s. So massive chunk of time that Marty Patella's got in hand.
Yeah, gap up to 8.7 seconds. And like you say, I mean, he just set the fastest lap of the race that last time by with a 22.101. Ricardo did improve his best time as well with a 22.749, but it's still near enough 3/4 of a second a lap slower. Have to think there's going to be different fuel loads coming into play here.
Soto very close onto the back of Jan Zalowski as they enter into Maggots, and she tries to carry that momentum as they come out to Chapel. He's got a good run. I think Jan's going to have to go defensive this time as they head towards Stowe. Let's see if he moves. He holds his line, and Omar moves to the inside quite late, but doesn't really make a real dive. Again, just trying to distract Jan maybe, but he was closer than we've seen him so far.
Yeah, just looking at Jan's car going into Vale there, it just looks a lot more pointy than what Soto's is. Just a clear difference in setup there, so we might see through the corners where the change of directions requires Jan probably just a little bit quicker.
And so close again from Soto as they come through bridge into Priory, just trying to carry that momentum and stay as close as you can for the front straight. Of course, let's not forget Jan Zalowski is the leading A-class driver. This is what we're really focusing on, is those A-class drivers fighting for those pro positions, whereas Castroledo's already got that, and Marty Patella's the World Championship driver. So great job so far by Jan. Sato so close again coming out of the exit of Cops there, going to try and keep this momentum all the way down. Manages not to get quite so close into the back of them as they enter through Maggots Beckett's much better exit this time. Omar Sato is going to be much closer, I think, as they head down Hanger Straight here. See what kind of run he can get. So again, Jan, I think, is just going to go defensive a little bit, is he? No, but Sato tries to distract him again, bit of movement. So again, we see the slightly different lines from the two of them as they try and come out of club area. It's tough for them to get on the power, and it's a matter of just letting the car take the line it wants to. If you get a good run in, you can hold quite a tight line, which is really going to be what we're preferable.
For all these two guys are battling, they're actually starting to pull away from the three guys behind them. Just shows what kind of pace that they are running.
Yeah, they can still see Castrolido just ahead as well, so then it's not like they're running slow at all.
Right, let's do a lap on board now with Omosotsu as they cross over the start-finish line, heading in towards Copse. Going to be just lifting down a gear into 6th here, try and run out the outside curb, but not onto the AstroTurf on the exit. Now we come into Maggots Beckett's, going to cut this curb on the right massively, I expect. There we go, almost all field rules over. And just try and stay tight to the right now and straighten up his exit onto Hangar Straight. Really see how violent the change of direction seems on board there with Omosoto. So all the way down Hangar Straight, now we're going to be heading towards Stowe. This is going to be down taken into 3rd or 4th gear, hardly a touch on the brakes, just let the engine brake and the aero slow you down. Run over that curb on the outside, now into Vale, going to be hard on the brakes, probably the slowest point on track. Cut this curb on the inside, and this is the tough exit now. Again, you can see the slightly different lines from the two of them. Oh, Soto, massive correction as he tries to come out of club there. Ends up running quite wide. Done a good job to hold it together. Now into Abbey, going to cut this curb on the left. And, well, it just misses the apex a little bit. And now we're going to be coming into Bridge. Very quick corner, flat all the way through. Down a couple of gears into 3rd here into Priory. And then, again, hard on the brakes as they slow down for Brooklands. Trying to hold quite a tight line coming through. Straighten the exit up as much as possible. And then running through Luffield, just staying tight to the right again, getting as straight as early as you can. And again, big correction from Soto as he tries to get on the power, and that's just allowed Zalowski to escape. So in that lap, we saw those 2 errors, and that's just allowed Jan there the opportunity just to make a good couple of attempts on him. 23.2 for Jan and a 23.46 for Soto.
And while you were on board with him, actually, I think Samuel had a little mistake behind, and Eunice and Yoni both got themselves through as well. So Eunice up to 5th. He's got particularly good race pace. He had last week as well at Laguna. So let's see what he can do, and see if he can start perhaps putting the pressure on Soto. This might give Jan what he needs just to be able to break away if Soto's having to look at the rear mirrors at the same time.
Yeah, and I think especially at the end of the race last week for Nukarin, that's when he really seemed to gain that pace on everybody else in the second half. So we'll see how he goes after the pit stops.
Yeah, he's already started to build a little bit of a gap from Joni Hagner there. So Eunice, the top 10 for engineering team driver this season. Obviously backed quite well with Ollie Bacala last season as champion. I know Ollie did some races earlier on, so looks like he certainly gave his input to the setup this season. Car's looking fast.
Yeah, just a few more little battles on track. We've got Kip Demp, and Sam Kumo for 11th and 12th. They seem to be battling quite a lot recently. And right at the back as well, we've got Justin Lindsay and Paul Nelson, who I think Justin started from the pit lane as well, so he's done well to catch up.
Yeah, expecting carnage at the first corner, and we didn't see it.
So Omosoto all over the back of Jan Zalowski again, so he's already made up those couple of attempts that he lost in the on-board lap with him. Right up the back of him into Abbey, dives up the inside at the last moment, hard on the brakes, gives him a little bit of space as Jan, just enough space for breathing room. Soto's going to come up the inside of Bridge now, can't quite make it, has to tap back in, following so close, right up the gearbox of Jan Zalowski, and the whole time Nukarinen is closing and closing. So this is a 3-car battle now. A little bit of a twitch from Jan as he gets on the power coming out of Luffield. Soto's going to have a great run now as they come towards Copse.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was coming out of Luffield where he lost it big time in the last race, so he'll be particularly wary about that. And that's probably why I had quite a big old lift there, and we see Soto get right on his gearbox.
And again, good exit out of the corner for Soto, who's going to have a great run. So Jan's going to stay defensive this time. A little bit of movement between the two of them. Soto right on the very gearbox, just about alongside now as they come into Stowe. Jan's going to have to give him the place, and Soto slots alongside. Look what kind of run is Nukarinen going to get now on Jan. Much better exit out of the corner, of course. He's going to dive up the inside. Is he into Vale? But no, just thinks better of it, and Jan just loses one position. Let's see what kind of pace Soto's going to have now. Is he going to be able to just disappear away from Zalewski, who's been tucked up behind him for a large portion of the race?
Yeah, Soto didn't have such a great race last week. Certainly had the pace, but through one thing or another, lots of incidents here and there, and we know what the starts were like. So he needs a good point finish to kick off his season. We'll see what happens. Oh, very sideways there. Just about saves it.
And I remember it was that exact position in the track that he lost 2 positions in the very last lap of the race last season. So he's got to be careful coming out of Brooklands there.
Actually, I remember being involved in that, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're absolutely right.
With a broken front wing, getting hunted down. But yeah, I managed to get a couple of places back, so I was all good. I think Eunice was the other driver that I managed to.
I was going to say
just before. Yeah.
Exactly, I can't remember who it was coming out of Luffield that you nabbed as well, but yeah, Eunice was it. Right, so on to lap 19. So not a huge amount of laps until we might start seeing some cars peeling in. Yeah, Alex told us we're looking for most people to come in for later stops, but we might get a little bit of variation here and there. So yeah, 5 or 6 laps or so, and we can start thinking about these cars coming in the pit entry. So just having a quick look and seeing who's currently out of the race so far. Sorry. So we have Sawada, we have Iwasaki, we have Muralutu, we have Mantlia, and Montana's all out of the race. Rafa Bordoy is a lap down, but still running, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like I think they pronounce it the Ronin team. They seem to be struggling a lot, getting involved in a lot of incidents. Not of their own doing for the most part, but luck certainly hasn't been there on their part. So let's hope that they can get some good races in for the rest of the season. Because myself and you, Lee, we know all about poor luck.
I've been enjoying my week so much, actually having 3 clean races, which was a bit of a shock to the system. But Jan Zalewski's now again under a lot of pressure, no breathing time at all for Jan, as Nukarinen's all over the back of him, and again he's got a good run coming out of Chapel. Is he going to have to go defensive? Jan, he does. He sits in the middle of the track for now. Is Nukarinen going to dive up the right of him there into Stowe? He's showing his nose. Jan gives him the space and cuts across quite late when he is happy that that Eunice has backed off a little bit.
Yeah, the 10-4.
Loses the rear. Jan Zalewski loses the rear of a car, clashing over the curb into Vale. Nukarinen just about manages to avoid. And now Jonny Hugner's got a little bit of a run maybe on Nukarinen, but Jan Zalewski, just lost the rear coming over the curbs into Vale.
Yeah, just went in a bit hot there. I think he felt still a little bit under pressure. Got the brake in just a little bit late. Had to really hammer him on, and then, as always with this car, when you come off the brakes too fast, the back end just comes around if you've got any kind of steering lock on, and I think that's what caught Jan out sort of halfway around the corner as he's like bumping over the curb. So around she goes. Gonna have to fight his way back, but I think from recall he's got quite a late strategy, so he might be able to have a little run back at these guys.
Yeah, and he's managed not to lose too many positions through there, so down into 7th now from 4th.
We'll see what McQueen's got now pace-wise, because obviously he's pretty much got free air. Soto's too far ahead really to cause any effect, so let's see what he can do, see if he can close the gap to Soto.
You were saying about pit strategy, Lee. It seems we've had 2 people in the pit so far. We've had a Rafa, who's down in 17th, and Justin Lindsay just behind him.
Yeah,
so
Justin's been in twice as well, according to my screen. So
he started in the pits, I remember.
Ah, indeed.
That's Justin's pit stop out of the way, along with Rafa. Rafa actually pitted on lap 13, so Seems a little bit early, but I'm sure he can make it from there.
Yeah, Nukarinen's not really managed to break away from Joni Hagner in his last lap after he got caught up a little bit behind Zalowski. So I did think perhaps he was going to be able to gap him fairly quickly, but we've got a little three-car group for the moment with Samuel then just behind Joni Hagner still.
Yeah, Soto tearing away now. Having a look at the last lap was 22.6, so he's only a tenth slower than Ricciardo. In fact, Soto's got a quicker lap time, his fastest lap, 22.3 supposed to 0.4 for Ricciardo, so looks like he was being held up quite a bit by Jan.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if Soto was to go a couple of laps longer maybe than Ricciardo, and that could well close the gap between them quite significantly.
Who is worth pointing out at the moment, last time by Marty Patella, 21.917. And he's just done a 0.5, 21.5. A fantastic pace there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's probably going to be due to pit in relatively soon with that sort of pace.
Yeah, I mean that would easily put him top 20 in qualifying for the week with a mid 21.
The Eunice coming through Priory. Just getting a little bit of the dirt on the outside there, but keeps the car under control.
So yeah, race has just settled down a little bit now. It's just going to be maybe the calm before the storm. We've just got a couple of laps left until we can expect to start seeing everybody beginning to pile in for their pit stops, and it'll be interesting to see just whether that strings everybody out a little bit or whether it punches them back up. So certainly hope for the second one. Even just running a lap or two longer than your competitor, and you can easily make up a good 2.5-3 seconds or more just by running on that lighter fuel for those couple of laps longer.
Yeah, it's a nice little battle forming a little bit further back as well between Bernardi, Kumo and Dent. Those guys separated by just over a second and a half. Kumo goes just a little bit deep into Abbey there. He's going to put himself under a bit of pressure.
Okay, Yanni Hagler jumping into the pits. Lap 23, 24.
Yeah, so Joni Hagner's really going to be our measuring stick then to see where everybody else starts slotting in around him as to whether they've gained or lost.
Yeah, 6.8 second stop as well. There's not too much fuel that needs to go on. Just a little over the halfway point.
Yeah, they'd have been putting in something like 50 kilograms, something like that, I reckon, to get them to the end of the race. So, yeah, as you said, fairly short stop, 6.8 seconds, pretty good.
And here comes the leader, Marty's pitting.
Yeah, that's definitely quite early, which makes sense why he was pulling away so fast from Ricciardo. Let's have a look though, we'll see when Ricciardo's due in.
Yeah, Ricciardo's gone by this time.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if Marty Patella comes out somewhere around the battles for sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th position perhaps, and if he gets involved in there a little bit. Right, so Marty Patella just about to pull out the pit stall now as Omar Soto flies by. And yeah, he's just going to get involved a little bit with those cars behind. So Nukarinen comes out just about ahead for the moment. And Samuel and then Jan Zalowski just a little way further back.
Not going to affect Marty too much, obviously running the extra...
sorry! Contact Sam Kumo! To turn 1.
Well, that looked like a little bit of a lag hit, perhaps from the camera angle I just saw pop up on the feed there. So we'll take a look at that again, I'm sure, and have an idea as to really what happened. Seen a little bit of lag there into Cops this week. I was involved in it with Ricardo on Friday.
Yeah, someone was just at the inside of Ariel. And looks like he didn't see him.
Yeah, I mean, you always run the risk when you go too wide on the outside of that happening, so I think that's probably on Ariel's part. He's perhaps just a little bit of inexperience to try and hold it around there. It's far safer just to concede the position and try and fight back a little bit later on. As soon as you try and squeeze a driver with the netcode that we occasionally get, you run the risk of doing that, and as being on the outside, you're always the one at the risk as well. So yeah, unfortunately, he's paid the ultimate price there, upside down into the barrier.
So let's just catch up on who's been in and who's not. Johnny Hagler's down in 14th.
Yeah, Patella dropped to 4th by the look of it.
Yep.
Yeah, 4th just behind Nukarinen. Even with that full car of fuel compared to Nukarinen running on fumes, they're currently running at a pretty similar pace, it looks like, for the last lap or so. And almost Soto actually maybe has made a little bit of an error in the last few laps somewhere, because he's not as far ahead of Nukarinen as we saw before. So I mean, Nukarinen's running at a good pace, 22.2 on that last lap, but almost Soto had really streaked away the last time we looked. So I think he's had a little bit of a problem maybe. In fact, even now he's losing time, hand over fist to Nukarinen.
Yeah, only a 22.4 last time by. Let's see what he does as he crosses the line now.
23.0, wow, big chunk of time lost.
Yeah, not good, and I mean 0.7 of a second Nukarinen's took out of him there. Patella did a 22.6 with the heavy car as well, so he's absolutely flying. That's amazing pace.
3 more guys into the pit, 4 more guys into the pits. We've got Yuka, Matthias.
Yeah, Kip and Samulia by the looks of it.
Yeah, Samuli.
Matthias obviously got the front wing damage, I think, hasn't he? So, sorry, rear wing damage there.
Larso's jumped in as well.
Maybe not. Sam's having a long stop. I can only assume he's got pit lane speed in 20 seconds at this point. He's been stationary. He gets going now. It's going to affect him big time. The other guys all around about 4.5, 5 seconds. And we see his teammate Hansen just exits the pits just behind him, so he's lost an awful lot of time. While he'd be disappointed with that, I know that he's got no pressure. Already got a 212 points.
Almost
in the
also
bag.
into the pits. So that's from P2. He dives in for his scheduled pit stop, but nice and clean on the entry.
Yeah, Eunice carries on, so
Eunice then is probably going to gain a little bit of time on Omo. He needs to really nail this 1 or 2 laps, however many heads he's able to extend it to, and make the most of this light fuel he's got. So that's going to be really interesting. They're going to be right on top of each other, I think, when Eunice completes his stop.
yeah, that 28. This is about when we called the window. Everybody seems to be popping in now, so I was thinking perhaps 30.
And Castellado doing well to not have short fueled either. You know, he's still on a fairly long first stint still.
Yeah, I mean he's lapping faster than Patella now, so but not by a great deal. We're only talking a few tenths of a second, so he's going to struggle to close any sort of real ground. I mean, he'll be faster towards the end of the race as well, because the rubber will be slightly fresher, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. Let's see how long he goes.
Yeah, he goes around for another lap. So we're going to be watching Nukarinen now, see if he dives into the pits as he comes out of Luffield in just a moment. Can he extend it by 1 more lap? That really will give him a good chance to get Soto, but no, he dives in. So is that one lap going to have made enough of a difference? You know, he's going to have gained maybe a second and a half, perhaps you'd imagine.
Someone else stays out.
While you guys keep an eye on him, I'm just going to quickly have a look, see where Soto is. Just coming through Priory now. So it's going to be close.
And Nukarinen still hasn't pulled into his pit stall, so just now he stops. Looks like he hits his marks pretty cleanly.
Yep, he's entering Luffield. So just exiting. Got a little bit of a twitch on there. Cold tyres, not quite
And
up to
Nukarinen's
pressure.
away, so he's coming out the pit lane now. Just off the limiter now.
Start-finish line for Soto.
It's going to be very, very close between the two of them. Then here comes Soto. There's Nukarinen. They're going to be side by side coming into Maggots Beckett's. Almost Soto's just going to get the run. Almost worked out for Nukarinen there. You can really see the time that he gained.
It's so great to have some pit lane strategy back into this championship as well. Last season, such a bore without it. And
Yeah.
it does spice it up a little bit with drivers choosing to go longer or shorter stints and whatnot. The unit's really just got the one lap fresher tyres. It's not a great deal. So it's going to be a straight out fight between these two for the
Ooh,
top
just-
Class A position.
They both struggled coming through Vale there. I thought Nukarinen was going to lose it, but actually he's gained. He's going to be right up alongside now, coming to Abbey. Great exit out of club. He's already got the move done. Soto has to slot in behind. Oh, just cuts across the nose of Soto there at the end. And Soto able to carry a lot more speed at the apex there. But yeah, they both really struggled getting over the curbs into Vale, and both could have easily lost the cars, in fact.
That's just what Eunice wants. I did say that there was a potential overtaking position, mainly really through the exit. Both drivers struggling there, but Eunice opted to use the really wide line early and was able to get back on the power quickly, and you saw the drive he had coming out.
Gorman's just jumped into the pits, but the guy I'm following at the minute is Marcus. Marcus Caton. He's still not pitted. We're on to lap 30.
Yeah, so
Sure.
Marcus going extremely long as well. Castrolido's been in. 4.5 second stop. So he caught a couple of seconds up on Patella through the pit stop phase as well. But still a very long way behind at this point. Patella now going into Brooklands, while Castrolido's just going through Abbey.
And Nukarinen struggling coming into through the exit of Vale and into club again. Rear all over the place, but manages to hold it together and didn't really seem to lose any of much time. So I think this is going to be a great battle through the rest of the race between Soto and Nukarinen now.
And Samuel's still out there as well, sat in P2, he hasn't pitted. Goes through for another lap, that's 31. So it's just really himself and Marcus that haven't pitted, so...
Jan Maslowski as well, I think.
No, Jan's had a pit stop.
Ooh! Very sideways actually, Jan there.
Yeah, 4.4 second Jan's stop was.
In fact, here we go, Marcus Caton, he's just jumped in.
See where this brings him out. I know he's obviously been at the back trying to work his way through. It's a very long stop, 12 seconds. I hate to say it, but I think we've got another pit lane speeding penalty coming up here.
He's actually left.
Yeah, he's obviously had enough of that with the penalty.
So it's strange to see.
Where's the action at the moment?
It's
looks
really
like it's
still
between the two
Nukarinen and Soto. Sorry,
well,
go on.
yeah, and the two Glacier lads having a bit of a fight. So Yuka and Yoni. I wonder if there's any team orders going on here.
Yeah,
We're
well,
going to see a
Joni
straight out battle.
Savalainen was quite a lot quicker on that last lap than Joni Hugner, so he's going to be looking to push. Right, so now that those pit stops have been done for now, in fact we're just waiting on has Sam been in now? Looks like he has. So Sam's been in for his one and only stop. So we've got Marty Patella in first, Ricardo Castelletto in second, Nukarinen in third, Omar Soto in fourth, then Sam has come out in fifth position, Jan Zaglowski sixth, Joni Hugner seventh with Sovalainen all over the back of him now in eighth, Matthias in ninth, and Michael Goman rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, it's quite a large field today, so I'm thinking probably 200 pointers are going to go down to about maybe 6th or 7th place. Quite a long way. I mean, it helps when you've got 23 cars on the grid, and looking at the I rating there as well, we could be looking at about 4,300 strength for field.
And almost Soto all over the back again of Eunice Nukarinen as they come through bridge. Just needs to try and hang in through this last section lap to get a good run through the first half of the next lap.
Eunice definitely a guy who's improved over week 13.
Oh, he runs wide though, coming out of left field. I thought he was going to end up on the grass properly there, but manages to dive back onto the track and keep his momentum, it seems.
I'll tell you where Eunice made a big step forward, and that was Virginia. He's definitely showed what he could do that week. He was really, really fast there, and for the rest of the season, season 1 that is, he certainly picked up his pace a lot, and it's nice to see that he's pushed on a little bit more as well, like you say, over the break, and he's fighting people that he was just a little bit behind last season now, so put that down to the fact he might have joined 10-4 engineering and fighting away there. Those guys just helped tweak his car a little bit to more to his liking. I'm not 100% sure as well, but if he brings it home in 3rd place, I don't want to do a Murray Walker on him now, but I think he would take the lead in the Class A Championship as well. It's going to be close. I think Robin, who's leading at the moment, has got 2 great points to his name as well in the first 2 weeks, so it's going to be close between those two.
Yeah, so let's have a quick think about the standings from week 1 then. So in our Road to Pro, the A-Class drivers, all looking for those pro positions for the end of the year, Season 4. So as of the end of last week, we had Jacob Nilsson was in 1st, Nukarinen in 2nd, Miralotto in 3rd, Ventby in 4th, Friscops in 5th, Mancusi in 6th, Javier Soto in 7th, Michael Goman 8th, Bernardi 9th, and Hunter Manley was rounding out the top 10. So I think we're going to see, also it was only the first week, but we're going to see a lot of movement in there now, I think, after the week at Silverstone.
Yeah, a few guys not turned up that were involved last week, so no Jacob, no Carlo Labiti. I think there's a few others as well that haven't turned up. A few new guys scoring sort of a couple of 100 points already this week, so yeah, it looks like we're going to have a very, very full championship, and it's going to go on all season. See who's going to get these top 10 finish in the Class A and subsequently get their pro license. Oh, and we look like we've got one of the Glacier guys spinning there, coming into or coming out of Vale. So I wonder if it's worth having a quick look at that back, see if we've had a bit of an incident between the teammates.
I see Joni Hugner apologising in spectator chat, so I would say that's was the case.
In fact, I think they did.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. And it looks like they're trying to get out of each other's way as well and just made it a whole load worse. Gutted for teammates. It's certainly they don't want to do that. I've been in the same situation myself. I do remember Indianapolis back in season 3, I think it was, where Jesper, myself and Samuli all got caught up in an incident. Unfortunately, it looked like Joni just made the mistake, lost the back end, caught it, but his line had nowhere to go, and they made contact, and then they just tried to frantically get out of each other's way and made it worse. What a disaster for them.
Yeah, it did look like a bit of a comedy of errors, didn't it, at the end there? That was a real shame for the two of them.
In fact, it looks like we've had another bit of an accident. Is that Michael Gorman and Kip Dent? Going
Yeah,
towards the end of lap 34.
Yeah, Kip Dent out.
Ooh, almost Soto up the inside of Eunice Nukarinen as they come out of left field. Going to be side by side coming down the start-finish straight, but Soto just has to bail out of it with a back marker there. Justin Lindsay letting him by. But he got right up the inside of Nukarinen there into left field. Very, very close again as they come through box.
Having a look to see if Goman got himself any damage with that contact. I can't see anything. So I think he's got away unscathed. Just having a quick look at the front wing now. Oh no, front right.
Right, yeah.
Wing damage there, so that's possibly going to slow him down in a straight line. That might give Hansen the chance to catch up and nick a top 8 finish. Only 9 laps to go, but I remember well from last season it can cost you a good sort of 1.5 seconds. And actually, his wings just miraculously fixed itself, so nothing wrong there. We've got a bit of a netcode hit and damage report, so he'll be racing on. Fun's over.
Almost Soto gets a great run coming into bridge, dives up the inside of Nukarinen as they come through bridge, but he's got the outside coming to Prix. Going to try and cut back as they come into the heavy braking of Brooklands, and oh, a little bit of contact was there. My camera angle couldn't quite show me. I saw them both moving around. Almost Soto tries to hang right around the outside of Luffield all the way. It's not going to quite work. Nukarinen's going to hold that position. That's such close racing between the two of them. Soto's got a much better exit coming out of Luffield thanks to that wider line. He's going to try and go around the outside of Copse now. We've already seen that not work with Bernardi earlier on and Sam Kumo. And Soto just backs out of it ever so slightly. Nukarinen hangs on for now.
Yeah, Soto left plenty of room. He didn't take the chance that there might be that netcode hit there. So just thought about it a little bit. He had the opportunity to push it, I think, round there, but thought better of it.
Yeah, plenty of time left still in the race.
And all the while this is going on as well, his teammates slowly catching him back up as well. Not sure he's going to get there by the end of the race, but if they keep battling, might well do. Oh, and Soto loses it big time coming out of club corner. He's definitely struggling, and we made a point of saying about it there, and we saw his teammate as well using the exit runoff there, which we mainly use with the historical layout. So GT Ross lads, looks like they're sort of set their car up for everywhere else apart from the exit of club.
Oh, sideways again.
Yeah, just really trying to push a little bit too hard now. Perhaps is Soto trying to make up for that error earlier on.
Yeah, that's going to give the space that Eunice need to be able to just calm down, just focus on what's in front of him now, hit his marks, kiss the apex, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't start seeing Eunice start to bang some good laps in for himself, some green sectors, and pull that or make that gap even bigger.
Omar is the brother of Javio, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so.
Are they brothers? I wasn't 100% sure they were. I just thought they were it was just same names. I might be wrong.
Almost Soto's comment in spectator chat, multi-21 between him and his teammate Sam behind perhaps. So does that mean Sam hasn't got a good point score and Almost Soto has? So perhaps we can see a bit of movement?
Yeah, well, let's have a quick look. I'll go and have a nose and see what I can see with what Omar's got at the moment.
Surely that would be multi-1-2, as Omar is car number 1.
Yeah, I can't see Omar putting in a points finish, so I don't think he's going to listen.
Right, so just 5 laps to go now. You know, race pretty much has settled down, I think, really. All of the little events, all the little battles have just fizzled out for the moment. Top 3 is still Marti Patella skating away in first position, with Riccardo Castroledo practically half a lap behind in second. Eunice Nukarinen, as we saw, rounding out the podium position for now in third. We've got Almost Soto fourth and his teammate Sam right behind him in fifth. And Sam is definitely closing the gap with Soto, even since Soto having that scruffy lap prior. And actually, Jan Zalowski's not far, much further back either. So he's just a couple of seconds or so further back in sixth. So he's recovered quite well from his little error that we saw earlier on.
I think Jan should get some decent points from this one, actually, looking at it.
So coming right now is Jan for lap 40. Jan in P6. Qualified in 4, so lost 2 positions. Won't be happy with that, I don't think, Jan. Saw him last season, he was one of the quicker guys. Looks like he's landed himself a new team as well.
Yeah, he seems to be, I think, still sort of very much independent, but he's lost the orange colour scheme that he had. Not sure who he's running with, but it's nice to see that he did the highlight videos from Laguna, and he said he's going to do them again here. So I look forward to seeing them. So it's always good when a member of the community starts doing some stuff for a slot to have a good old look at.
Yeah, and same for Omar Soto as well. He had a great point of view video, I think, of his race as well.
Just something that was brought to my attention from last week, actually, was about the teams and their sponsors as well. And I've tried to get hold of most drivers or most team sponsors, primary sponsors, so we can help just, give a little bit of publicity to those guys. So when you're watching this back, if we don't know what it is, let us know, and we'll make sure that we give your guys a bit of a shout out. Something else you can all add into your back pocket when you're all seeking out your sponsors. And talking of sponsors, is it not worth giving a plug for some of our lads while we're at it?
Sure is. Go on, Alex, I'll let you do the honours.
So just first off, a big thanks to GT Omega Racing. They pretty much back everything we do now, ARL TV, Apex Racing UK and Apex Racing League. So thanks to Leo over there. AC Sim Equipment as well. Mainly sponsoring the team. That's a new brake mod for the G27. There's going to be a page going up on our own team site about that very, very shortly. Kimmy's Rural Fencing, more from the V8 Supercar League, but Mark Noble does a lot for that community over there, and we're proud to have him as a sponsor. And let's not forget Sim Garage. Kevin Parrish, new team driver, but if you're after a button box, go and check him out, simgarage.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Apex Racing TV and ARL TV for Facebook.
Despite Sim Garage, I'm going to say that's my point. Every time I hear Sim Garage, I have to feel like I say it in the proper way, even though it's an American company. I refuse to put a different feel on it. Right, so the last couple of laps now, lap 42 for Riccardo Castelletto and for Marty Patella up front. So this is going to be winding up in the next 3 or 4 minutes or so.
Yeah, Patella's absolutely smashed Riccardo here. There's no two ways to put it. But I'm sure Riccardo's going to bounce back next week at Sebring. I know for a fact he out-qualified him in the World Championship Series, so he'll be trying to get one back on him.
And it really shows just the step up and level that's going to be required for these A-class drivers. So as we look at the timings at the minute, as you say, Marty Patella and Castelletto just way ahead of everyone else, 36 seconds back from Marty Patella to Jonas Nikarinen. But then actually, the A-class drivers, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all covered by less than 10 seconds. So it's good close racing between those guys, but it just shows them where they're going to need to keep progressing to if they want to move on through their license progression.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a Pro and a World Championship Series driver there, so two stages of improvement are required. So
Sam Delaforet has continued to close now on Omosoto in the 4th position, as close as we've seen him all race long, or certainly since Sam completed his pit stop earlier on.
4/10 faster the last time by as well.
Yeah.
1.3 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, as it stands at the moment. So that call for multi 21 might need to come into a play.
And Sam's pushing so hard. He ran so hot into Vale, almost run out to the outside grass as all 4 wheels were sliding sideways across. So he's trying as hard as he can to get onto a Vakasoto there.
Only raced Samuel once, and that was at Interlagos. Good clean fight that we had there. Great racing. I'd like to say I got the better of him, but I didn't. Certainly had me there. A good quick driver. He didn't do last week, I don't think, so he's a driver we're going to have to keep an eye on for the rest of the season. We're on to the last lap.
Yeah,
White flag is out.
Marty Patella coming up towards Bridge now, just behind the back marker behind Sam Kumo. So as long as he doesn't get tangled up with Sam having a problem, he's just going to be coasting at home now and bringing a very, very dominant win to the Ajira team.
Yeah, it looks like Kumo's trying not to let him go past as well. He wants to stay on the lead lap.
So, congratulations to Marty Patella then. Nice, dominant victory at week 2 Silverstone. Behind him, just coming out of Luffield now, Riccardo Castellodo. Good, strong 2nd position for him. He'd obviously want the win, but second only to that World Championship driver he's going to be happy with, as is Jonas Nikarinen. So he's just coming through Priory now, 3rd position, top finisher it looks like of the A-class drivers. So again, as you were saying, Alex, it's going to be a big haul of points for Jonas there. So he's going to be
Look who's in 4th
happy
place as well, guys.
And there we go, just as predicted. Sam is up into 4th position. But in fact, not anything planned. Where's Omosoto gone? Jan Zaglowski is going to be 5th. So Omosoto way back in 6th position, that's going to turn out to be, I think. So Sam was showing then that he was really putting that pressure on Soto, and Soto perhaps just buckled.
He did.
Sounds like he might have run out of fuel. I'm not 100% sure as well. Maybe he's just cruising it back across the line there. Oh, he went off at coming out of club, straight into the barrier,
into the wall. Yeah.
Last lap. What a disaster for him. But still, he's going to get 6th place, and I'm pretty sure that'll be pretty decent points.
Okay, so that's everybody across the line now. So, yeah, P1, Marty Pasella, P2, Riccardo Castellodo, P3, Jonas Nikarinen, P4, Samuel De La Fuente, P5, Jan Zalowski, 6th, Omar Soto, 7th, Matthias Venturi, 8th, Michael Goman, 9th, Lassie Bryn Hansen, and the very last car over the line was Sam Kumo, rounding out the top 10. So just the top 10 cars on the lead lap. Yuko Savalainen, Rafa Bodoy, and Justin Lindsay look like they're the last of runners, all finishing 1 lap down.
Yeah, Marty Patella scored himself 279 points, Riccardo 266, Eunice with another 253. We will try and see if we can get you updated points after the interviews. Sam with 240, Jan Nowalski 228, he'll be delighted. Omar still scored 215, so good points all. Matthias 202. Goman with 190 didn't count, so all the drivers before that was their best point score of the week. Brun Hansen 177.
Yeah, so big points scored this season. I mean, we saw that at Laguna last week, and we're seeing it here at Silverstone. I think, I remember you saying your predictions for the points required for last season, Alex, ended up being a little way lower. It was a higher scoring season, wasn't it? And it looks like it could well be the same again this year.
Yeah, I was thinking last season we were looking at about a 180, 190 average point should do it, but in the end, I think it was 215 it ended up being. I think this season you're going to be looking around about an average of about 220 points, so it's going to be tough. Just going to get ourselves ready for interviews in a short second. And we've got a couple of the drivers waiting, so it'll be good to see. I'll bring you a replay of the start.
Yeah, it was a pretty clean start from those first few rows. Castro loaded trying to run the outside, but then it was 3 or 4 cars wide, just a couple of rows further back, and everybody did pretty well to manage to hang through Copse there. And I think it was only in the back field did we have any contact in those first couple of corners. So majority of the grid did well to get cleanly through. Right then, so as Alex said, we've got Marty Patella, I think, in the Ready for Interview channel, so I think we're going to be dragging him up and congratulating on his dominant victory. Good evening, Marty. Congratulations on your dominant win. Looked like a pretty much a perfect race, wasn't it?
Thanks. Pretty much it was this time around.
You had some serious pace out there today, lapping significantly quicker than the rest of the cars. You had a good example of that when you completed your pit stop, and with heavy fuel you were running at a very, very similar pace to the cars ahead with light fuel. With your World Championship commitments, how much running have you done here at Silverstone this week?
Well, I did the race let's say 4 hours ago, and one qualifying session and maybe half an hour practice, 1 hour practice maybe.
Yeah, it's just a good demonstration for all these A-class drivers looking to force a way into the Pro Series and into the World Championship Series. Was what they're going to, the level they need to get to if you're able to run at these sort of paces with that minimum amount of practice time. How was? Did you race at Sebring yesterday in the World Championship Series?
Well, it cannot be called a race for me. Someone decided to borrow my rear wing after 4 laps, so the rest of the race was pretty interesting. I was driving a Formula 3 car or something like that.
So, where's the World Championship Series going to be at in 2 weeks' time?
Watkins Glen.
It's going great, so that's obviously a real favourite amongst the drivers then, so it's going to be tough for any of the pro drivers to get in like Anton Higgelen managed to do yesterday. Obviously going to be the Agera team is going to be looking confident for some strong results there?
Yeah, we should. I think we should have something interesting for that race. I did a few laps today at Watkins Glen and found quite a few quite interesting setup changes which make the car a lot quicker. I'm hoping to gain on that for the race. Hopefully others will figure that out too.
It's the first time that the 2 series are going to combine for a week, so World Championship Series and the Class A Series both running at Watkins. Are we likely to see you guys competing in the races throughout the week? Get a bit of track experience?
I'm definitely going to try to run the Friday race and the Sunday races. I enjoy racing this car so much that I want to try every opportunity there is to drive around.
Well, I'll certainly tap up some of our lads and a few other people and see if we can't get some Friday races going as well. That'd be good.
Okay, well, congratulations again on your victory, Marty. Hopefully it bodes well for, as you said, you're running at Watkins Glen in a couple of weeks, and we shall see you then, no doubt.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Right, so we've also got the remainder of the podium in the interview channel. So I think let's go in order, shall we? Let's get Ricardo Castellado up next, our second position finisher. Good evening, Ricardo. Congratulations on your second position. How was the race from your view?
Yes, I tried to pass Marty on start, but I didn't pass him, so I tried to follow him, but I made a mistake, and after I just tried to finish the race because Marty was too fast for me.
Yeah, he really put in a dominant display, really lapping considerably quicker than the rest of the field. But yeah, that would be a similar case for yourself, Ricardo. Of course, if Marty wasn't there, we'd say that you had really run away with that victory. There's a big gap between you two cars to the rest of the field. What do you reckon to the strength of the A-class drivers this year going for Pro compared to Season 1 where you got in? Sorry. How do you rate the drivers this season going for Pro compared to Season 1?
Yeah, they are really good, but I think they are stressed for the races. I think I was stressed on last season, so I know what they feel. This season I'm faster than last season, so I think they are good drivers. I think they are practically on the pace of the last season drivers, but I think it's the beginning of the season, so they are a bit stressed, and they need to learn how to set the car, and yes, it's why I'm on a good position on the races, because I think on the end of the season it will be more difficult to me.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. You have all that pressure off your shoulder and much more relaxed. You must have been very happy but disappointed yesterday, Ricardo, qualifying strongly for Sebring in the World Championship Series, but not quite managing to actually get on the grid. Are you going to be trying to run for Watkins Glen?
Yes, I was a bit disappointed, but I knew before the qualify it will not have a spot for pro drivers, so it's why I run without pressure on the qualify, and I made a really good lap, but I will try to do the same at Watkins, but I don't think the pro drivers will race. Congrats to Antoine who raced and make it an incredible performance yesterday.
No, it really was. Great finish. Okay, well, congratulations again, Ricardo, on your second position today, and we shall see you, I'm sure, next week.
Yeah, I don't think I will race next week because I will normally not be at home, but we will see if I can race. I don't know, but yes, I will try to be here.
Okay, well, we shall find out next Sunday then, Ricardo. Congratulations again. Goodbye.
Thanks, see you.
And so, rounding out our podium then, as we said, we had Eunice Nukarinen, so we're going to drag him in now. And there we go, Eunice. Congratulations, third place, podium, 2 podiums in a row for our Strength of Field races after Laguna. You must be happy with that. Yeah, strongest, highest finishing driver of the A-class. So you had a pretty dominant display out there, really. I remember last week, it really felt like maybe you came through the field towards the end of the race, but this week you were right up the sharp end the whole way through.
Basically, yeah, I started from 12th, so there was really excited work ahead of me to climb from there, and at Silverstone I found that it's rather tough to overtake, and in the race I just I just got stuck behind a couple of guys. So I think that cost me for some positions at least, or seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it would have been tough to have improved on your third place of this week. There was obviously lots of tough battling for you in the race, mainly with Omosoto, very, very close between the two of you pretty much the whole way through.
Yeah, it was pretty nice part of the race with Omar, and it was good, clean race with him. And at one point, I missed my braking points, and then I just lost the rhythm, and he was almost past me, but I was able to keep it on the podium.
And so how are you feeling about Sebring next week? Eunice, looking forward to that in the FW31?
Yeah, of course. It was the last season. It was pretty good, but Sebring itself is not my most favorite track. But I think really looking forward, and it's gonna be a lot different than here in Silverstone this week.
Having a look at the qualifying times over the last couple of rounds, Eunice, you're sort of struggling a little bit to sort of get right to the sharp end, and you're having to do all the hard work in the race and doing it well indeed. That's two times that you've come from a long way back on the grid and got yourselves onto the podium. So, is that something that you're going to be working on for Sebring, trying to get that qualifying time up there so that you've got the potential to perhaps go for victories rather than just fighting to get onto the podium?
I would like to, but even though hard and intense practice throughout the week, there is some kind of problems. What I can improve, and I think a couple more positions from last week I was able to increase, like last week 17th or something, and today closer to the top 10, so that for sure helped me this week. So yeah, I would like to.
There's only 4/10 covering the top sort of Class A driver to yourself as well, so it's quite a strong field out there this season as far as the one lap pace goes. I mean, I think there's quite a few guys out there focusing a lot on qualifying at the moment. I mean, how do you sort of prepare for your week's race? Do you focus on one lap pace, or do you go more for the race pace?
Actually, this season I have focused on the qualifying, and once I have good balance and feeling with the qualifying setup, I can concentrate on the racing, race pace and race fuel, and so definitely going to be looking more closely to the qualifying.
Well, regardless of that, sterling job getting yourself up onto the podium again. I'm still waiting for the championship points to update, but I got to think, actually, I believe they've just updated. Funnily enough, you are joint first place now with Robin, so both on 513 points. So congratulations on that, new championship leader.
Yeah, well, basically my initial primary goal is just to get the races finished, and then at the end of the season we'll see how it is, and just gotta enjoy the practicing and racing, and of course everything related to that.
Well, congratulations on the podium today, and we'll see you next week at Sebring.
See us next week, guys.
Cheers, Eunice. Right, so that's going to be wrapping up the broadcast end for week 2 at Silverstone. As we heard a minute ago, next week we're going to be at Sebring. So same time again, 1600 GMT. Yeah, round 3, week 3 at Sebring, and we'll see how Eunice and Robin can cope with the pressure of being at the top of the standings. So thank you to Dean, thank you to Alex for our expert contributions, and of course to Darren working the cameras in the background. We shall see all you guys next week. Thank you very much.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatic, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 to the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR iRacing